Hello everyone, Jeff and Derek here with A Taste for Whiskey, and man, what an exciting day today. It's a little cold, but it doesn't matter because we are getting to the truth of the matter today, folks.
Yes, we are out here freezing our balls off for you at Hard Truth Distillery. So let's check it out.
Hello, we are here at Hard Truth Distillery, and we are here with the man, the myth, the legend, Master Distiller Bryan Smith. What do we got going on today, Bryan?
Hey, first of all, thanks for coming. Appreciate you guys being here today. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna tour the distillery, talk a little bit about our experiences here at Hard Truth that we offer, and talk about some whiskey. Maybe drink some whiskey. Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know. You like that?
I could go for a little bit of that.
Yeah. It's all about the experience, right?
Yeah.
And so one thing that I think is I call this like the Disneyland experience for whiskey, right?
You know, it's funny you say that because we talk about that a lot internally, and the interesting thing that we always discuss as a group is, you know, we have created a Disneyland-like experience here on the 325 acres. But unlike Disneyland, everything here is real.
That's right.
So you've got like real people making real whiskey, and you can have real experiences. There's no smoke and mirrors. There's no tunnels underground.
Love that.
At least that you know about. But what I will say is that so where we're standing right now is the tour center. So when you come onto the property, you come through the big beautiful gates. First building you're going to see is our rack house. And later on, you guys will get to go and see that hopefully as well. Then you come through, and this building serves as kind of the contact point for all things with the distillery. So we have like 4 basic experiences, and then actually 5 now. So we've got the distillery tour, which starts with the history. You go through the distilling process, see the whole thing, and at the end you have a tasting. We have the whole truth tour, which is really more of a depth of in the barrel tour. So you taste whiskeys at different maturation times. My favorite tour is called the Get Lost tour. So we've got side-by-side ATVs, and we can take you and your group out on our 325 acres. If you've ever been to Brown County, you know, hills and hollers, it's really fun, creek beds. So what you do is you go out, it lasts about an hour and a half, hour 15, hour and a half, and we have 4 different stops along the way where you do tastings.
Man.
So there's a moonshiners camp where you can taste, you know, some new make and then some aged whiskey, and then you go up to Prohibition Point, shake a gin cocktail. There's beer bluffs where you get to try some quaffon beer while you're swinging on these big swings over bluff. It is absolutely one of a kind.
That's our thing right there.
It's one of a kind in the world. It's really awesome. And then we have a mixology experience, which when we walk through here, you'll be able to see the newest experience that's added, which I think that your viewers will be really, really interested in. And as far as I know, there's no one really else doing this around, is we have a single barrel selection experience. So for people who have had the privilege or opportunity to pick a single barrel with a retailer, where you go to a distillery, you taste through barrels, you talk about the tasting notes, then you choose a barrel. That's a cool experience.
Yeah.
It really is
one of a kind thing. Yeah.
It is, but it's something that really only a handful of people get to try. So what you can do is you can come into this tour center. You can either book it ahead of time or book it when you get here, but you can book a barrel selection experience. So we have several barrels that we chose that are sitting right back there, just for the tour center. You go through a classic barrel experience tasting. You and your group pick which one you like the best, and then at the end of the experience, you can buy and it kind of comes wrapped in with the cost of the experience. You can get as little as 1 bottle of your single barrel selection with a custom label on it, all the way to the whole barrel.
That's fantastic.
So it kind of brings that experience, you know, demystifies it for people, brings it to the rest of the folks who don't often get a chance to do something like that. So
and they get to actually taste the variations between each barrel,
absolutely,
which a lot of people just don't understand. And same mash, same whiskey, different barrels can really change it.
Yeah, so that's a cool experience. So so we'll walk through the space here so you can see, and then let's head to the distillery.
All right,
yeah,
fantastic.
Thanks.
Smells so good.
Yeah, so
wow.
So we we've got this little trap door here. We roll in the barrels to this trap door, and then we've got these little holes here. So what we're doing there is we take these pipes that you see.
Oh.
We roll in the barrels. So we put these in, roll in the barrel, put that into the bunghole of the barrel, and we actually smoke the barrel. We can smoke 8 of them at a time. It's hard to really talk about this, when you've got just a bottle on the shelf, but when you look at our Hard Truth Sipes, double oaked in a smoked barrel, we've got a bourbon and a rye whiskey. That whiskey was made here with this smoking process, and we are the first to market anywhere with that product. So it's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. This is great.
Yeah, cool.
This is great.
All right, let's go check out the distillery. All right, you guys ready to go to the distillery? All right, on in.
I love this. The secret door.
So if you like our Sweet Mash Rye that's out in the market right now, this is what it looks like when it's fermented. So, with what you're seeing here, you can put your hand over and feel the heat.
Oh, yeah.
That heat is from fermentation. So,
it's really hot.
The cooking process, what you're doing is you're taking the grains and you're crushing them to flour, and then you're putting them with hot water. The hot water pulls the starch out of the grain into the solution. Then, through enzyme conversion with malted barley, it turns those starches into simple sugars. Once they're in simple sugars and we've cooled this down to about 100 degrees, we pitch yeast in there. That yeast eats those sugars and makes 3 main things. It makes ethanol, it makes heat, and it makes carbon dioxide. So the bubbles are the carbon dioxide, the heat you can feel, and then the ethanol is that delicious whiskey we're going to drink.
This smells, I get a lot more fruit smell than I thought I would have gotten.
Well, you tasted the Sweet Mash Rye?
Oh, yeah.
Big fruit notes in the Sweet Mash Rye.
Woo!
Yeah.
God.
So if you guys want to taste it.
That is apple to me right now. Just apple.
So this has been fermenting for a couple days, so that sweetness is gone. You get some of that tanginess from the so once the fermentation happens, you get a lot of acids that are created that create that tanginess, but real clean.
Oh.
And that is really good. I mean, just right out of the...
Yeah.
Nothing like the bourbon that we've tried, at some of the other distilleries. This is fantastic.
That's an apple orchard to me.
We're ready to go right now, folks. We're just going to dig our cups right into this.
So for each of our mash bills, we've actually got 4 rye mash bills and 4 bourbon mash bills. We wanted to really create a lot of complexity, so we have 2 different yeast strains that we use. So we'll do, one mash in will be one of the yeast strains, and the next day we'll do the other. And then we have 5 different barrel profiles. So what that really gives us at the end of the day is with the Sweet Mash Rye that's out in the market, it's one recipe, the 94% rye, 6% malted barley. But I've got, 2 different yeast strain batches, and then within each of those 2, I've got 5 different barrel profiles.
Man.
So what that gives is it gives you a lot of opportunity to blend. So when Tim and myself and Chris get into the lab, we don't just have one flavor to work with. We've got really, it's almost like making gumbo.
So Bryan, when we talk about, all the different flavors, what percentage do you think the barrel has in the flavor profile?
Sure. I would say, there are people that throw out percentages. There's really no way to really officially quantify it, but I would guess at least 50%, if not more.
So really, it's possible you can have a great mash going into the barrel, and then by some chance you make a bad choice on a barrel, or you just have a bad barrel, then it could really
make a difference. And that's why all the decisions that go into setting up the distillery and to really thinking about the project. This is what I knew, that all of our equipment, including our stills, Vendome, Copper, and Brass Works, they make the best stills in the industry. We use Independent State for our cooperage. They make some of the best barrels in the industry. We've got incredible farmers who are passionate about what they're doing. So we really were very, very confident that at the end of the day, we were going to have great whiskey. Really, personally, I was just I really was striving for a very unique flavor profile that was ours, that you wouldn't taste anywhere else. So obviously 94.6 is similar to in mash bill to the 95.5 rye that's made an hour and a half away. Those two whiskeys couldn't taste any different.
Not even the same.
You know,
Not
so it's
even
kind of
close.
cool. That's, I mean, really, you know, if you think about it from an alchemy standpoint, you know, being able to put your mark on the whiskey world with something that tastes unique and that differentiates yourself in a good way, it's pretty awesome, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Let's go check out the still.
All right.
Our final proof is between 135 and 140.
Okay.
That's about where we like the flavor profile. So if you go higher in proof, it's less flavor.
Right.
Lower in proof, more flavor. But there's a point at which there are flavor compounds that are created during fermentation that you really don't want to bring over into your whiskey.
Okay.
So most bourbon distilleries are in the 130 to 140 range. You want to take some new make?
Yeah.
All right, Mike, I'm pouring a sample.
So this is the part that we've really been looking forward to is the new. Just tasting the new make is going to be delicious. Just
Wait till you taste this.
Yeah.
Ready? Stick
You
finger.
can see the excitement.
wow.
So you're gonna get
Man, that is sweet. That's tropical.
that yeast
That's-
strain. That particular yeast strain gives us big tropical
fruity.
fruit flavors on the front. So when we first ran that yeast strain, in my mind, you know, like when you're cooking, I can sometimes when I'm looking at a recipe, I can kind of taste in my mind what it's going to be like. So with this, the first time we ran this yeast strain, we got all those big bright tropical fruit flavors, and I thought, man, if that big bold fruitiness goes through the barrel process and then matches with that nice rye spice on the back, we're gonna have dynamite whiskey.
Oh yeah.
This is
solid
very
gold right here. This is amazing.
Brian. You don't even need to barrel this.
No,
let's
it's
let's
good.
just bottle it.
Do you
It's
sell
great new
this?
make. We do not sell the new make.
Wow.
You have to come on a tour and you can taste it.
Yeah.
So
you
what's
gotta
the,
make it
you
to
say
her.
it's about 130, 135.
135, yeah.
That, yeah,
You never know.
you never know because there's so much flavor there.
Well, that's the thing about sweet mash too, is that, you know, a lot of whiskey is real rough before it goes in the barrel. So then you got to take some of that roughness out. If you're going into the barrel with really delicious tasting new make, then, you know, in 2.5, 3.5, 4 years, you're really gonna have some black whiskey.
So. We're here with Tim O'Brien, kind of the co-founder and really the chief taster here.
Yeah.
Great job, right?
We've got under the stairs here. So
There's a secret room inside this room? I thought this was the secret room.
lock me
We're
out,
locked out
guys.
again.
Still his keys too.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, thank you.
And there's another room.
Here it is. Stepping into what we call our single barrel room.
This is the single barrel room. Are you kidding?
Seriously. How
Wow.
freaking awesome is this?
Oh my goodness.
But here it is. This is the single barrel room. This is where we conduct the single barrel experience tour that we talked that Brian mentioned to you earlier. It's also where we bring down our single barrel pick customers if they're coming in from a bar or restaurant to pick a full barrel.
This is the Disneyland experience I was
That's
talking
it,
about.
it,
This
yeah.
is
Yeah.
this is fantastic. Right. Man, so this is where they come in. So this is where they're going to sample all those different single
Yeah,
barrels,
yeah.
and if you like what you're tasting, you can actually buy a bottle. You can even buy the whole barrel.
Yeah, the way that tour works, it's really cool. We wanted to bring the single barrel experience to people that might never get a chance to do that, and educate them about single barrels at the same time. So we've got a bourbon tour, which is our Sipes rum barrel finished bourbon, and then a rye tour, which is our Indiana rye.
Mm-hmm.
And folks can choose which tour they want to come on. And we've got 3 samples of each, depending on the tour they take. We line them up here in the bar. if it's a bigger group, we'll make a little more room and find a place for everybody to have their little tasting mat. And whether it's myself or our tour guides, we walk them through what it's like to taste each of those 3 barrels, talk about the differences, really let them kind of experience what it's like, to dig into each of the different barrels and understand how different each of them can be. And it's kind of fun because so many of these people have never done anything like this. And it's cool how quickly they start pulling out some of those unique notes. You lead them just a little bit and then the floodgates are open. Everybody's talking about what they love about each barrel.
I think the best part about this particular experience is when Derek, we do a lot of tastings, and a lot of people are a little bit intimidated. Mm-hmm. They're like, they kind of come up to the table, and then they kind of want to walk away, and they're like, well, I'm kind of afraid to talk because I really don't know what to taste. I really don't understand. But this experience, this is perfect for folks that are wanting to get into whiskey. So if you're intimidated by it or you're not sure that you want to do it, this is the experience to try. Because, being the chief taster, who better to learn from than the guy who can talk to you about all the profiles and how to taste and where those profiles come from.
For sure. And, another fun thing is when we were doing some of the trial runs, we actually brought in a couple bourbon clubs, and these are groups that are obviously experienced. Even they were like, oh my goodness, guys, this is awesome. So even someone that really knows what they're doing still thinks, what a cool experience. So we're excited to have it.
So every level of experience into this, come try this experience, right? That's what I've loved about this whole thing so far today is the whole thing is an experience. Every bit of it.
We're very driven by experiential things,
Yeah.
It's one thing to have a pint of beer, a cocktail in your hand, but it's a whole other thing. Even when we were just doing more focused on the restaurants, we still wanted that to be an experience. We didn't want someone to just feel like they were going to one of our restaurants. We wanted them to have a fun time.
We always talk about, some people just like to sit around by a fire and just pour a 2-ounce pour of bourbon, and that's it. For us, it's more than just taking a bottle and dumping it into a glass. It's taking maybe 5 bottles and taking maybe a quarter of an ounce and talking about it and looking at it and spending maybe 20 minutes per bottle. Yeah. By the end of the day, we've had 10 bottles and we can still walk.
Sometimes.
Yeah. But this is, there's no one in Indiana, there's no one in Kentucky that I'm aware of that's really creating that total experience, that total package that you can eat, you can drink, you can fellowship, you can learn, you can understand the distilling process. And if I'm not mistaken, there's even a tour that you kind of learn how to do a little bit of moonshining.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
You're right. We actually have kind of one of our higher tier tours, that you can actually go out in the woods, and we've got a still out there by the creek, and you get to sit down with us and make some whiskey.
Hey, we don't really tell anybody about that. This is between us and you.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah, but ask about it. You got to know the right people.
That's right.
It's a thing.
Hey Tim, can you hook us up?
We might know some people that can help out.
Learn how to do a little bit of moonshine, Derek.
I'm down for that.
How about we pick a little bit nicer day outside?
Amen. It's a little chilly today.
Yeah.
Man, this is fantastic, Tim. I can't thank you enough for walking us through this. And folks, the single barrel tour, this is it. This is the peak right here, I think, of just whiskey tours and whiskey experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
I'm
wait.
ready to come back.
Yeah, I really can't wait for people to start experiencing it. Yeah.
Amen. Well, thank you so much, Tim.
Yeah, you're welcome.